what they've been empowered to do. Basically telling them who they are and not what.
Young lady.
Here
Hey
is
guys.
Representative
I don't know if I can make my way all the way around. Nice to chat. I mentioned you know I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Clay, I'm doing a Facebook Live.
They want you to sit.
Okay, great. Appreciate you doing that, man. God bless you. All my media friends. God bless y'all. I don't know if they're, hey Boo, how are you? Nice to see you again. Hey man, young lady. Hey guys. Hey Ken, how are you? Guys. Hell, I didn't know there was gonna be a princess in here.
Well, how you
But
know that?
apparently there is.
Okay, everybody, I gotta get in there somewhere.
You coming in,
What
James?
is your,
He's coming. Can I back up a little bit?
Yeah, we are.
I just want to get them in.
Thank you all for being here. I didn't mean to interrupt. The young lady was speaking. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but I kind of did.
We were just passing this okay.
So thank you all for coming. I don't know if you have a format established here or if we're just going to jump into it, but I'd like to, first of all, thank James for helping me to facilitate this meeting. The status of our country has always been subject to debate, you know, throughout the generations, and this is good. It's healthy and vigorous debate is what our country was founded upon. But when that debate becomes rhetoric that leads to violence, then it's important that humble servants, as we consider ourselves, although we may be divided ideologically, we're bonded by the American spirit that represents the country that we love. James is an Army veteran. He serves honorably. We thank him for his service. We recognize him for his sacrifice. I'm a veteran myself. I serve my country honorably. And so here you got a couple of Army guys that have a message for the nation, that, you know, our love and respect for each other must overcome the violence that we see across the country increasingly. And let me add with a great deal of humility that this conversation began with myself in the mirror. All of us need to look into our own heart and ask ourselves, do we grasp the fact that our words have meaning, that our influence has impact, that our actions have repercussions beyond perhaps what we intend for them to have. So it's very, very important to me, and if I can, I'd like to turn it over to James. It's very important to me, not just as a representative, but as a man, to reach out to my brother and sister across the aisle, if you will, to extend a hand of peace and love and respect. We shall debate, and we shan't always agree, but we should always agree that we are bonded by our love and our respect and the American blood that flows through us, and that those powers and forces that bind us are much stronger than anything that would divide us. So I'm very, very humbled and grateful that James agreed to help us facilitate this. We did this together and served. If I could, I'd turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Congressman. And if I may, I would just like to read a brief statement in the spirit that Congressman Higgins has extended to show that we too feel the same way he does about this crucial issue. Congressman Higgins, I'm James Proctor. President of the local chapter of Indivisible Acadiana. Congressman Higgins, thank you for asking us to stand with you today against violence. There is a deep divide in this country and a lot of anger on both sides. It is more important than ever for us to agree that violence is not the answer. If violence enters the political debate, we risk losing everything. Violence will produce more violence until we tear ourselves apart. However much we disagree, violence will only destroy the country we each love. When you called after Steve Scalise was shot, you said we all needed to look in the mirror, like you just said, yourself included. I'm glad you said that. I only hope everyone listening has the courage to ask themselves if their actions or words are adding to the likelihood of violence. With great power comes great responsibility. As the most powerful country on earth, we have to be the last to call for violence and the first to look for peace. This is also true for us as individuals. It's not enough to point fingers. We each have to actively reach across the divide between us and try to find common ground. Steve Scalise was shot last Wednesday in Washington. Just 2 nights ago, a young man was shot to death a block from here. It's not enough to ask what we as a society are doing about violence. It's also not enough even to ask our leaders what they are doing. We, each of us, as human beings and Americans, have to commit to being more careful about what we say. We need to make sure our words are not the spark that starts a flame that burns us all. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Congressman Higgins.
Well stated, well stated.